Okay, when hunters base sit, there's some very important things to remember. Do not be mounted. That is a big one. Do not be mounted. Because you can get sapped, your pet can't do anything. I mean, you can always unmount, but just don't be mounted. It just makes you look bad, okay? When you keep your traps down, you want to make sure that you have both sides of the flag covered. Otherwise, you know, someone might be able to sneak up there. They did decrease the range of the trap, so, you know, they would have to get really lucky, but they're invisible, so. Alright, you're in Battle for Gilneas at mines. There's, you know, different areas sit around. Just make sure you're stealth. I mean, yeah, sure, they can still see you camouflage if you don't have the glyph, but it's not that big of a deal. At least they can't target you unless they're in melee range. So, yep, here's me just spinning flag and, you know, whatever. I think this is yeah, this is just a random BG I did, so I got a lucky res right here. So I managed to come back right before they cap it, spin it. That's the thing, is you always want to keep your traps on cooldown. The whole trick to spinning and sitting base is to make sure that you live as long as you can and that you spin the flag as much as possible. So look, this guy, he's on his mount. He's probably alt tabbed or something. Whatever, I'm just gonna blow him up. Alright. So this is Lighthouse. Again, I think this is just a random. He's definitely AFK. Look at him just sitting there. And my bags are full, as you can plainly see. Mail it over to my alt. Alright, let's see, what else? You, never be mounted, okay. And try to make sure you stay away from the flag, because Rogue can sap you and then start taking it. Usually want to have your pet away from you as well, just for similar purposes. If your pet's right next to you, you might be able to CC both you and your pet, and then you won't have anything to help you spin. And that's not what you want. You really need your pet. It's the whole reason that hunters are base sitters, is because of the pet. I see a lot of hunters who don't even use their pet. They, oh, well, I got sapped. Duh, you have a pet. There are a lot of bad hunters, though. So, try and have your pet away from yourself and away from the flag, and you try and stay away from the flag. Alright, here in Eye of the Storm, if you're in our RBG group and you only have one hunter, pick Blood Elf. Make sure that you have Explosive Trap, and Power Shot is optional. Okay, I'm here on my Orc alt, so you won't see my beautiful Blood Elf. But yeah, this is what you want your setup to be. You sit where I am sitting now, and then you drop your flare there so that no rogues or any stealthy can get in the door. Drop your traps on each side, one frost, one explosive. And have your pet sit over to the left. When I pan over there, you'll see my pet sitting there. And you just sit there camo. And this securely locks down Blood Elf. You cannot be gripped off the side to the left like I used to have DKs. I used to sit outside of the building. And I would have a DK when I would come out of stealth to, you know, to reapply it or do whatever if I wasn't paying attention. Or even if the DK just walked over there and I'm like, what the hell is he doing? Get gripped down there, that just sucks. So I was like, said, fuck that, not happening anymore. So I planted my ass in this building. So, as you can see, I'm not reapplying flare here. This is just, I don't know. Wasn't really paying attention at that point. Hopefully you'll be a better hunter and make sure you keep that on cooldown. Usually I do. But anyway, so yep, whenever you go camo, your pet comes back in, so you can see me reapply my traps and put my pet back over there. So A rogue comes up here, rogue sees that he can't get near the flag. If he starts taking it, he's going to hit my traps. If he tries to go around the other side, he's gonna hit the flare. If he tries to come in, he's gonna hit the flare. He could probably sap my pet if he wanted to, but like that's gonna accomplish much. Been in RBG groups where we'll have somebody sitting at Fel Reaver, and the rogue will go over there and we'll mess with them and can't, get him, whatever. Maybe it's our tank, something like that. So he comes over here. Like they have the tank or whoever's sitting at Felbraver will have a visual that the rogue is coming to Blood Elf, and sometimes they'll hit my traps or they'll make an appearance for my flare or whatever, but they're quickly deterred and they do not come back. I spend a lot of games just sitting here because I have Blood Elf so well locked down. Sometimes a couple onesies and twosies will make a push and they just get knocked off and killed, and you just can spin it so well as a hunter at Blood Elf with Explosive Trap and Power Shot. Especially with Aspect of the Fox. If you use that, then you can move and cast Power Shot, so you can better aim. That's another tip that you hunters watching this will want to keep in mind. The two hardest bases here, of course, are Blood Elf and Mage Tower. And Mage Tower is actually harder, but I don't have a video of Mage Tower right now because I'm Horde and we usually get the Horde side. So next time, hopefully I'll remember and bring Fraps up and when I sit Mage Tower. But for those of you that do know what Mage Tower looks like, which hopefully is everybody, you can side cap it. By side capping it, there is a lip on where the flag is sitting, and when you go to the side, it can be capped. This is where hunters fail a lot on EOTS, because they don't pay attention. I mean, you have to, on that one, my don't sit near the flag rule, completely ignore it. Just ignore that, because you pretty much have to. You have to sit on the flag, and you want to make sure that you're sitting kind of behind it or to the left side of it as you're looking out the door, and make sure that you put your pet away from you again, because you might be gripped or you might be blown off or something like that, because it's a little more precarious. You can't sit in the building, because if you sit in the building you can't accurately see the sides, which you're going to need to, otherwise they will cap on you. So you have to be really careful when you're sitting Mage Tower. And rogues, they will try their hardest. They will blind you, they will sap you, they will do everything to try and get the smoke bomb, which sucks, but can be countered. You have two traps, one for each side. You put it right in the middle so they can't get anywhere near within range to cap it, because they'll either get frozen or they'll get knocked off. So I typically put my explosive trap on the right side of the flag as you're looking out of Mage Tower. That way if they hit it, they get flung either forward or backwards, or just they get flung really far away. And then the other one, they get frozen, of course. So, when they're frozen, you're like, oh, well, I see you now, drop my flare on you, and, oh, they'll run away, vanish. And then sometimes they'll try again, but especially is when the teams push there. Now, that's when you really, really have to pay attention. If you're not paying attention, they can cap easily, because so many people. I mean, at that point, you don't worry about your damage. As a hunter, base sitting, you don't give a good goddamn about damage. It's all about the spinning and all about the surviving. Because if you're at a base, you are the spinner. If I don't care if the target caller is like, get that healer, he has 1 HP left. You are watching that flag. You are spinning that flag. Because if you don't, they could cap it. And sure, if you attack that healer and he died and they took the base, you could still lose. But you got that 1 kill. Good for you. No, you want to make sure that you watch that flag. I get really, really upset whenever I join an RPG group on my Resto Druid, and you get hunters that are just retarded. Oh, I'm gonna sit on my mount, I'm gonna jerk off. because I'm retarded, and then, oh, well, I was sapped, they capped on me. Well, no, duh, why didn't you call Inc? Oh, blah, blah. That's another thing, always make sure you call. If you know you need help, make sure you call, and call loud and call often, because sometimes people will be like, oh, I've got 3 coming. Okay, well, you didn't say where, and you didn't sound that, bugged. You have to be like, I got 3 coming to Blood Elf, 3 Ink and Blood Elf. I got a mage, rogue, and a druid at Blood Elf. I need help. I need help now. I'm spinning. You keep talking. You keep talking. You keep talking. The tiger caller's probably going to be, firing off. Get the rogue, 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 whatever, whatever. You got to keep talking so you are heard. You are not forgotten. Because when shit's going down in the RPG, people start forgetting stuff. So you make sure that you are heard. No, just little eek, and then you're forgotten, and then you lose the base. So, no, you have to make sure you are heard. You have to make sure that you vocalize it. So, okay, if you're at Fel Reaver or Draenei, they're, very similar, whereas Blood Elf and Mage Tower are pretty similar, but, they have significant differences. Well, Draenei and Fel Reaver, they don't really have that many differences. So, you want to stay away from the edge because, you can get yanked off, you can get knocked off, but, if you have a rogue or some kind of melee, then, lure them to the edge, drop your trap, and pew! If you aim it just right, you can even get them off in the center. I've done it just once, but it was magical. It really, really was. So, those two are usually, you don't want to sit there. Whenever I get into an RBG and we get Eye of the Storm, first thing I say is I call dibs on Blood Elf. Ask anyone that I've RBG'd with when we've got this map. I'm like, dibs on Blood Elf because got a lockdown pat. Okay, I've went on for several minutes, so I just want to give a short little summary of basic things. Do not sit on your mount when you are base sitting. There's no reason. If you're a hunter and you're base sitting, you're gonna be staying at that base. You're not gonna be running around. So don't be mounted. I mean, just stay stealth. Do what you're supposed to do. Pay attention. I mean, don't be a bad hunter. Whenever I'm on my druid, I'm sneaking around, and I see a hunter on their mount, or even if I'm on my hunter, and we're trying to take a base and say we don't have any or whatever. If I see someone on their mount that's a hunter, I'm just like, that hunter is a scrub. So don't sit on your mount, and don't sit next to the flag. You can get sap capped. I mean, rogues, they'll sap you, they'll start taking it. You'll trinket if you're dumb, and then they'll just blind you and take it. Yeah. So don't do it. Don't do it. Don't sit next to the flag, and try to keep your pet away from you. This one is a little more optional, but I would really suggest to keep your pet away from you, so it's just safer. Don't have your pet too far away from the flag, but just, yeah. So that's just some little suggestions. Keep your flare down, keep your traps down. I mean, just as you play it, as you base it, you'll start, be like, oh look, if I sit here, then I can do this, or if I sit there, then I can do that. I mean, just if you do regular BGs, practice base sitting. Go to different bases and play with the landscape and see, if I sit here and I put my pet there, I can drop my trap here, stuff like that. It people, some people laugh at me, but base sitting, is kind of an art. Everyone thinks, oh, we'll just get any hunter at all, and just throw them on the base. They'll be fine. They're a hunter. They'll base sit. Sure, get a retard, let them sit on the base. They'll get capped. Oh, the hunter was bad. Well, of course they were. I mean, you get all these hunters trying to queue up for different groups and looking for a group, but you don't know which one, is good or not. So hopefully hunters watch this and, stop being retarded, because it makes all the rest of the hunters look bad. Alright, well, thank you for watching. I hope this helped you guys. I'm not an expert. I mean, I don't use fancy macros or a whole bunch of add-ons, but, just kind of casual, trying to do a little PvP and help people who are worse than me, which there are a lot of. Alright,